Thank you for joining us for the 2022 MHSAA Awards and Alumni presentation. We're here today to honor and recognize those officials who have reached milestones in their service to school sports. For many of our officials, they will receive a presentation of their award at a finals event of their choosing. Service Award winners' pictures will come at the end of this presentation, and all of the names of our recipients can be found on our website. Randy Paulson was a longtime MHSAA official whose most lasting contribution was to the recruitment and development of student legacy officials. I'd like to now turn it over to Randy's wife, Mary Paulson, to introduce this year's Randy Paulson MHSAA Legacy Official Scholarship Award winner.
Hi, I'm Mary Paulson, and Randy was my husband. Randy was an official for 30 years when he died suddenly of a massive heart attack while we were driving to my cross-country meet. Sports was an important part of our lives, and we supported each other as we coached and officiated. Throughout the years, he attended my meets and I attended his games. Randy enjoyed all aspects of the sport. He was a player, a coach, an official, and a spectator. He officiated basketball, softball, and baseball from elementary rec leagues to college games. Randy took the time to explain the game and his calls as he did his games. He loved passing on his love of sports and knowledge of the game to the kids, and the Legacy program provided that outlet. Randy worked with his mentor, spending time in my classroom, going over plays, drawing on the chalkboard, spending time in the gym, having scrimmages and making calls, and then watching games and explaining how officiating was a part of the game. He passed on the qualities he felt were important to being a good official. Those included doing your best, being fair and impartial, good sportsmanship, being on time, dressing correctly, handling yourself in a tough situation, good communication skills, and having fun. And, most of all, knowing the rules of the game. Randy felt it was important to be outgoing and talk to the players, the coaches, and the fans. A sense of humor also helped throughout the years. Randy was willing to lend a hand and to give back. The Legacy program gave him that opportunity. The Randy Paulson Legacy Scholarship is presented each year to a senior who is part of the Legacy program. I contacted Mark Ewell after Randy's death and worked with him to create the scholarship to give back to the Legacy mentors. This scholarship would not be possible without Mark Ewell and the MHSAA. While reading through the scholarship applications, I looked at the qualities that were important to Randy. I looked through the extracurricular activities, both in and out of school, that the applicants took part in, and was impressed with the wide range and commitment of each individual. I enjoyed reading the short answers and essays and was impressed with their thoughts, ideas, and feelings that went into completing the application. I am pleased to present the Randy Paulson Legacy Scholarship to Brenna Kozel.
It's such an honor, and it shows that hard work really does pay off, and just putting your mind to it. It's very awarding. It makes me feel that I've made my school proud, and even my dad, just like watching him and having him help me up to this point. When I was a sophomore, my dad introduced me to it, and he's been a ref for like 30 years now. So he found out about the Legacy program, and we got going on it, and we started with volleyball in junior high, and it honestly just took off from there. I've learned a lot from him. He's taught me a lot. He's been a good mentor for sure. Like obviously all the rules and stuff, and it was nice having him because it wasn't just a mentor. It was knowing that it was my dad. It was easy for us to communicate and work with each other. I think it is just such a good thing. Like, I think all athletes should do it and get involved with it, because it's something you can take after high school. Even when the sport is finished for you, like, you go on and you can still be involved in that athletic sport. Yeah, it's rewarding for sure.
Thanks, Brenna, and again, congratulations. The Vern Norris Award is presented annually to an official who is active in local associations, provides mentorship for officials, and helps with officials' education. I am honored to present the 2022 Vern Norris Award to winner Pat Hayes.
Well, I was just so shocked when Brent called and told me. I couldn't believe it. But, you know, for someone who's put in all the time, I'm very, very honored. And I hope that young people, even the men and the young girls, see that there is an opportunity to be recognized for putting in hard work. When I was playing in high school, I played 4 years down at Detroit Western in the PSL. Back in the mid-50s, back then we didn't have a lot of sports. But my coach told me, after I played four years of field hockey and 4 years of everything else, she said, Pat, just remember when you didn't have an official on your games. And I said, well, Coach, we always had officials. She says, now it's your time to give back. And what she did in my senior year is she asked one of the officials to mentor me while I was playing. So I officiated the JV games with an official behind me, and I just fell in love with the sport and just continued on for the next 60 plus years. Well, the thing is what I wanted to be was a teacher anyway, and I went to school and became an educator. And I saw how important it was to have an educator as a coach, because if I ever had an issue during the day with a problem with a game coming up, I knew I could find Coach Blomfield in the building, and that was really important to me. And as the years got going, the want just grew. I just wanted to do it more and more. And then I got involved with coaching, and we were so short of officials back then that if my team wasn't involved in a game and I didn't have a game and there was a game someplace else, I was always put on that other game. So we just did what we had to do, because back then, when I got out of high school, there were 31 schools that played in the Detroit Public Schools. So when I was going to Wayne University, I would just hop a bus, go to Cody, go to Mumford, go to Henry Ford, and my dad would come and pick me up after. So that's how it got going. Well, officiating, as I tell everybody, it keeps me young, and being around these young women is what you just have to be one step ahead of them. And our favorite answer is, you know, think of a different excuse, because we've heard them all. I raised 3 female athletes, so I've heard them all. So, but it just is such a pleasure to be on the field, and I'm just so blessed to have the energy and the good health to do it.
Thanks, Pat. Now it's time to look back at 20, 30, 40, 45, and 50 years to see what the world was looking like when you started officiating.
We start in 2002 for our officials with 20 years of service. Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones is released in theaters, but Spider-Man is the top movie at the box office. Nickelback's How You Remind Me ended the year atop the Billboard Top 100 list. And on TV, Kelly Clarkson wins the very first American Idol. The best-selling car was the Toyota Camry, and you could fill up that Camry for just $1.36 a gallon. The New England Patriots won the Super Bowl in 2002. The Lions just missed out on the playoffs, going 3-13. Detroit Catholic Central won the second of 3 straight Division I football titles. And in girls basketball, Portland St. Patrick coach Al Schraben won the last of his 6 Class D titles. What happened in 1992 when our officials with 30 years of service were just getting started? Well, Wayne Fonts led the Detroit Lions to another non-playoff appearance. In 1992, we learned that it's not how you say potato or potato, but how you spell it. The Mall of America opens, providing job opportunities for officials at not 1 but 2 Foot Lockers inside. The top TV shows included Roseanne, Murphy Brown, and Home Improvement.
You can't sit down at this table unless you can bench press 150 pounds. Ow. Al, sit down.
And the top grossing movies were all sequels: Batman Returns, Home Alone 2, and Lethal Weapon 3. In England, the Premier League was formed, and Nick Faldo won the British Open. Fred Couples won the Masters, and at just 16 years old, Tiger Woods played in his first PGA event, the LA Open. He missed the cut. The Dream Team won gold at the Barcelona Summer Olympics, no one got within 32 points of Team USA. Closer to home, Michigan capped an unbeaten season with a Rose Bowl win over Washington. In Canton's Kelly Holmes struck out 24 batters in a 7-inning softball game against Walled Lake Central. Yes, 24 Ks in just 7 innings. It was 40 years ago, in 1982, when Late Night with David Letterman debuted on NBC. Dave's first guest, Bill Murray. Chariots of Fire won 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Michael Jackson's Thriller is released. Knoxville, Tennessee hosted the World's Fair. More than 11 million people attended it. The first USA Today was published. It's still a big hit at hotels around the world. Cal Ripken's streak of 2,632 consecutive games played started on May 30th, 1982. North Carolina freshman Michael Jordan hit the go-ahead basket in a 63-62 NCAA championship game win over Georgetown. The Detroit Lions finished the strike-shortened season with a losing record. And Cal beat Stanford on just your standard 5 lateral 57-yard kickoff return through the band. No flags on this play. 1977, 45 years ago, Star Wars was released, as was Saturday Night Fever. Elvis Presley died at the age of 42. Mr. October Reggie Jackson hit 3 home runs in helping to lead the Yankees to a World Series title. Seattle Slew captured horse racing's Triple Crown. The Detroit Lions finished 6-8, missing the playoffs again. The Atari 2600 was released with Pac-Man being its best-selling game. Al Fracassa led Brother Rice to the MHSAA Class A football title, the first of Al's 9 football championships. But it was a magical basketball game that people will remember most from 1977.
Irvin Johnson lays it in.
As Irvin Magic Johnson led Lansing Everett to an overtime victory in the Class A championship game, propelling Magic to one of the best basketball careers ever. And 50 years ago, in 1972, Title IX was passed into law, creating athletic opportunities for thousands of girls. The first MHSAA girls champion was won by Taylor Kennedy High School in gymnastics, and the Eagles repeated as champs in '73 as well. Bobby Fischer defeated Boris Spassky in the World Chess Championship. By winning the match of the century, Fischer became the first American-born citizen to be crowned champion. Mark Spitz won 7 gold medals at the Summer Olympics in Munich, setting world records in all 7 events. Roger Staubach led the Dallas Cowboys to the first of their 5 Super Bowl victories. The Lions, once again, did not make the playoffs. Some things never change.
Now, with a few words for all of our MHSAA award winners, our Executive Director, Mark Ewell.
We're at the end of another school year, and I want to take just a moment to thank all of our MHSAA registered officials. This is the time of the year where we recognize service, those of you who are 20-year, 30-year, 40-year, 45, and 50-year award winners. We could not do the work of school sports without you. Officiating is such a powerful part of so many of our lives, and this year I count myself as one of those winners of having reached my 30th year of registration. I think all of us involved in officiating have a responsibility and an obligation to take this wonderful avocation and hobby that we all enjoy, and we need to go out and recruit more people into this incredible experience. So on behalf of the entire membership of the MHSAA, to our officials, congratulations and thank you for your service, for your dedication, and for keeping our kids in the game through a bunch of really challenging times here over the last 27 months. So once again, on behalf of the whole staff, thanks for your service.